Hi everyone, my name is Shannon Thomas, and today I'll be delivering to you guys my informative speech. But I want to give you all a quick heads up. I'm not the most technically savvy millennial, so there's not really a lot of visual aid. I couldn't figure out how to put it into my speech. So let's get into it. The artist I chose is Kanye West. What I will be discussing about Kanye West is who he is, his attributes to the music, culture, and art, and his contributions to hip hop. So, why I chose Kanye West? Because of his ability to overcome tragedy, and he always rises above expectations. Either people sit on him or he sat on himself. And his ability just to connect with other people. So, something that really stuck out to me early on is when Kanye interrupted Taylor Swift at the VMA Awards. And I'm just going to quote to you what he said. It's such an infamous line. I just feel like that kind of really helped solidify Kanye West to me, even though it's so obnoxious. So he said, "I'm gonna let you finish, but Beyonce had one of the greatest songs of all time." So that really stuck out to me. Just wanted to mention that. Okay, so I want to start talking about his life. So Kanye was born Kanye Omari West. He was born on June 8th, 1977. He was born in Atlanta, Georgia. I know like a lot of people may think that Kanye was born in Chicago, but that's not actually true. He was born in Atlanta. His father was a photojournalist at the Atlanta Journal newspaper. His name was Ray West. His mother was Donda West. She was a teacher, and then she turned into an English professor. When Kanye was 3 years old, he and his parents got a divorce. Because of the divorce, his mom moved to Chicago. So they moved to Chicago when he was 3 years old. So let me clarify. He moved to Chicago when he was 3 years old. He grew up in a middle-class neighborhood in Chicago. It was called South Shore, and he was raised predominantly by his mother. Okay, so now we're getting into Kanye's work. So he graduated high school, and then he started to attend college, but he dropped out later to pursue his music career. But this is a key thing. Kanye dropping out of college, I'm just going to leave it there, and then I'm going to explain more about it. Basically, dropping out of college for him, it played a key role in his career. So Kanye got his original start by doing music production for local artists in Chicago. During his production, he developed a sound. It's called the chipmunk. So it's called chipmunk soul. So it's basically he speeds up old sample soul tracks. He speeds it up. If I don't know if any of you all heard Kanye's album, Kanye. I'm sorry, I'm really nervous. If you all ever heard Kanye's song with Twista, that's a primary example of him using chipmunk soul. So in 2001, he moved to New York. That's where he got his big break. He started working on production on Jay-Z's album, The Blueprint. I don't know if a lot of you all noticed, but the Blueprint album is one of the greatest hip-hop albums of all times. It's highly regarded. But while Kanye, he was producing, he wanted more. He just didn't want to be behind the scenes. He wanted to be a headlining act. So he made those intentions known to his record label at the time. It was Roc Nation. The record executives, they were Damon Dash and Jay-Z, of course. They were the owners of Rockefeller. It's called Rockefeller. Now it's called Roc Nation. So he made his intentions known to them, but nobody took Kanye seriously. The reason why nobody took him seriously, because during the early 2000s, hip-hop was more centered around the bad guy image. You had to come from a street background. You had to be the tough guy. So that's why no one took him seriously, because Kanye comes from an educated background. He comes from the suburbs. No one really took him seriously. But Kanye continued to pressure the record executives at Rockefeller, Damon Dash. So in order to still keep Kanye on their roster as a producer, they signed him as an artist. Damon Dash, he really didn't believe in Kanye, but like I said, just to keep him on the label, producing for Rockefeller, he just signed him. Okay, so in 2001, he started production of his first album, College Dropout. So like I was saying in the beginning, College Dropout was, it was a keynote to him dropping out of college. So while working on his record in 2002, the date is 2002, October 4th, he got into a head-on collision. When he was in a head-on collision, he completely shattered his jaw. While he was recovering from the head-on collision, he wrote the song Through the Wire. He was rapping the song with his mouth wired shut, so that's why it's Through the Wire. So Through the Wire was just his experience on the head-on collision, him healing everything that he was going through. That's how he expressed himself at the time. So while he released Through the Wire, he was continuing to work on his debut album, College Dropout. The whole album got leaked. He was upset about it, but he took that as an opportunity to rewrite the lyrics, remaster some of the songs, reproduce things. So it worked out in the end for him with a great album. So now I want to talk about Kanye's impact in hip-hop. So like I said before, his chipmunk sound, he was the original person that pushed that. Before him, Timbaland, the producer, he was the predominant producer of that era, and everyone, just referred to Timbaland as the Timbaland sound. So that's what everyone was looking for. But before Kanye came into the industry, nobody was sampling music, so he basically started that. And another thing Kanye did, he broke the stereotype of what a rapper should be. Like I said previously, in that era, in the early 2000s, everyone had this stereotype of what they thought a rapper should be, sound like. Typically, rappers back then, they would just rap about living a lavish lifestyle, talking about spending excessive amounts of money, basically unrealistic things. That's where Kanye, comes in with he's relatable. He started just to talk about real things that people were actually going through. Religion, family, mental health. He was just realistic. He talked about everything that everyone was going through. So Kanye released an album called 808 and Heartbeats. If you listen closely to the album, you can see the reference between Drake, The Weeknd, how they modeled their career from that album. So he pretty much just laid down the foundations of, hip-hop in this era. He laid it down in the early mid-2000s. And that concludes my presentation. I hope you guys liked it. I hope you learned new things about Kanye West, and have a great day. Thank you.